What is going on, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be going ahead and rolling off a few facts about myself. Most people do not know, literally, they know dipstick about me, like they absolutely know nothing. So this video is basically for you people who want to just get to know me a bit better, because I feel that's going to be a good way of letting you know what I am like in real life. If you ever meet me, you're going to know a few things about me. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. So the first thing you ought to know is I'm 20 years old at the time of shooting this video, and I'm born on the 5th of February. So by the time this video goes out, it won't be very long, it'll be the big day. My life is so screwed. I need to sort myself out bad. Next thing you ought to know about me is I definitely talk to myself a lot. So I do it all the time. It's a lifelong habit. I've had it since I started talking, and I think the thing is I've always had imaginary friends, but nowadays I just talk to myself because sometimes, like, even if I'm packing something or doing anything, I'll talk to myself, and that keeps me motivated in a way. It keeps me happy, you know. It's something that I will do all the time. Unless if there is someone to talk to, I will happily talk to someone. So another thing, I guess, to add on to that is that I also have got some pretty bad verbal diarrhea. I will talk to people for days. Like, I could talk for however long you want me to talk. I can talk literally for the country if you need me to. Public speaking is something that I'm not a big fan of. I will do it if I need to, but the thing is, going in front of an audience, I'm good with going in front of an audience, but talking can be a bit nerve-wracking, and for me especially, I do get stage fright slightly, but once you get me up there and once I start talking and start having a bit of humour in there, it rolls off the tongue, and I naturally am a good speaker on stage. So that's another thing to know about me. I'm also very stubborn, so I will be very true to my opinion, and yeah, when someone says something like, you know, if someone calls something by one name and I call it by another, I'll tend to say, I think you mean that, don't you? And they're like, it's the same thing. It's like, well, potato, alright, so just be quiet, alright? Now, of course, I personally am not saying you gotta call it by whatever I say, you know, call it whatever you want. I do play games. I do play a bit of Xbox, a little bit of PS4, but because, of course, it's an awkward situation, I tend to be a bit on-off with games, so you won't be seeing any streaming or anything on this channel, because I just don't have enough time for it, you know. I personally don't see enough of a reason to carry it on. I mean, I will play games, but I have kind of a love-hate relationship with it, because I used to be into it a long time ago, and now I'll play it on the odd occasion if I'm just really, really bored. Today is not a good example because I'm filming this video. This will probably be a very divided opinion, but if anyone wants to know, my favourite TV show / series, if you like, is definitely got to be Tom and Jerry. I absolutely love that show. I've grown up with it, and it's a classic. You can't beat it. I also do love Looney Tunes. You know, I love a good bit of old Mickey Mouse, bit of Donald Duck, and of course Goofy. All them characters, they make me laugh a ton. Slapstick comedy is a winner. If you put that on, I will simply sit down, watch it, and have a big laugh. It's just best series of the lot. Another thing you ought to know about me is, well, I suppose you're going to want to know, I'm about 5'11" or about 5'10.5", so sometimes I'll sort of deviate between the two. I've measured myself a few times, and it seems I can't seem to get an accurate measurement, but I've measured myself to be 5'10.5", and maybe 5'11" if I get the right pair of shoes on. Just because it makes me feel just a tiny bit better. So, another thing, I am quite lazy. So, as you know, I've said in countless videos that I am very lazy when it comes to uploading. Now, it's also true in life. Like, I will simply just lay down on my bed and just simply play on my phone for endless hours on end. I will simply play on my phone for endless hours on end. So it's actually quite ridiculous. If anyone does sort of want to, well, all I can really say is, yeah, that's pretty much me, unfortunately. But I do get out. I do get out on the odd occasion, you know, like, you know, I went to Italy, but I do go out, but it's not every day you'll see me out on the street. So I do eventually want to get back into the vlogging game and, you know, hold the camera out here, you know, say, "Hey guys, what's going on?" But, you know, it's just the motivational part of it. That's just the problem. I used to be a fan of football, but if you want to know about supporting, I support Tottenham Hotspur because of my dad. He's a big fan, and he's been a fan since he was young. But personally, I mean, I've been to a few games. But ultimately, if you want to know exactly what sport I'm into, I'm mostly into Q Sports, as you would have guessed by my pool compilation. Now, if you want to go check it out, I'll be putting a link up in the top corner up here somewhere. So go check it out if you want to. I also really love snooker. I actually play snooker with my family, but only at the weekends. So it's just another little hobby I like to do. I have actually put some snooker up on my Instagram, so my Instagram is going to be down below, and I'll make sure to maybe show a little snippet of it right up here. But yeah, so snooker and pool, that's kind of what I like. I don't mind football. I will play it if everyone else is playing, and, you know, I'll get involved in a game, but you won't be seeing me running around like Harry Kane or Messi. So anyway, moving on. Well, if you want to know, I have actually got, of course, you guys know that I do drive. If you guys want to know what it is, it's a Vauxhall Corsa. It's a Sting variant, so it's, I guess you could probably say it's kind of the mid-range model, and that's the version that comes normally with a stripe over the middle. I am a bit of a car lover, but of course, you know, that's just down to me. You know, I do love cars. Anyway, I also used to be into cycling. I don't mind doing a bit of a cycle every now and again. I haven't actually cycled in a couple of years. I do need to get my bike out and maybe pump the tyres up and take it for a spin. But it will also need some looking at, because I'm sure it's been sat in that bike shed for years on end. So I used to skateboard, but it just sort of died off. I sort of got bored with it and just got into cycling, and I suppose it just sort of, it's one of those habits or one of those hobbies that, you know, it just fades away. If I could get back into it, I would, but personally, I don't see enough of a reason. I've had a lot of accidents with it, and, well, even though I got all the padding, I ended up once busting my knee open. Well, I say that, I just scraped it really badly, and it was literally bleeding for non-stop about 2 weeks. So, but I can't say that's the worst injury. So related to that incident, I had a bit of an injury. In fact, my worst injury to date has been twisting my ankle. You might say, "You never broken a bone?" I have never actually ever broken a bone in my entire life, believe it or not. In the 20 years I've lived on this planet Earth, I have never broken one bone. I have twisted my ankle before, which did of course hurt. I could still kind of walk on it, but it was still very painful. It healed over about a week and a half, so it was perfectly fine. I did have to go to A&E, so it was pretty painful, but at the same time, I actually genuinely thought I broke a bone. But all I did, it literally was just a simple twist of the ankle. It could have been a lot worse. And the way I did that was I do believe I jumped over a fence, or we were at a skate park where there was a half pipe, and basically we were playing football on it, and I know it's very strange. The ball went off. I went to go and grab it. I threw it to my cousin, and then I tried to vault the fence, but I think my foot slipped, and my foot then landed on the floor, and it simply went. I was like, ow! And I absolutely I was clenching my foot, and I honestly was in agony. So that's pretty much my worst injury. Very interesting fact, this one's definitely going to come as a little bit of a shock. I'm a bit of a nature person. I love to connect with nature. I like to have a little walk in the woods. Sometimes I'll even do a little bit of bushcraft. I've never been in Scouts before, but if I could have done Scouts, I would have, because I absolutely love it. I have actually also done NCS, which is National Citizen Service, which it basically is, it's like doing PGL. If you've ever done PGL in year 6, it's pretty similar to that, but I definitely would say it's a bit more intuitive. Like, you definitely have a lot more things to do. It's also, you definitely got to use a lot more teamwork, and I'd also would say, you know, it's a bit more high intensity. So, and I remember when I did PGL, I couldn't exactly do the wall climb. I got halfway up and said, nope, I'm done. And then when I came to NCS and did the wall climb, I got straight to the very top, because I sort of began to conquer my fear of heights. Now, That's because I think the wall was about, I think it must have been about maybe 40, 50 feet, so it really wasn't too bad. Anything higher than that, and my fear of heights just kicks in. Even going up a ladder is scary for me, but I will do it if I have to, but of course, it will take, like, it'll be me going up there, go, you know, I'll just take my time. You know, with some things in life, I do take my time. So, generally speaking, I go at my own pace, alright? If you hassle me, I will simply just say to you, oi, bugger off you. I will do it at my own bloody pace. Yeah, just f*** off. I also used to be into tennis back then. I just simply like, it was very satisfying just simply getting it over the net. And ultimately, I think tennis was one of my ultimate sports. Of course, I will always support, you know, Andy Murray and all that. Novak Djokovic and all that. But I don't watch it much nowadays. I mean, I would definitely watch it still. But, you know, if it's ever on, maybe I'll just catch up with it. And of course, you know, it's definitely a sport of, it's definitely a very good sport. So that's all I can say. So another little fact about me is I'm very argumentative. So if someone is saying something like, you know, oh, you're just an idiot or something like that, I will argue the absolute toss until I prove them wrong. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't always work. In fact, it rarely works. Whenever I argue with people, unfortunately, then I realise I've made the wrong move, and I then tend to be very forgiving. I'll then simply go, okay, alright, I'm sorry. Anyway, if you guys have enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the thumbs up, and if you want to see more of these, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you won't be missing any videos. And be sure to go and follow me on my socials, my Instagram, my Facebook, my Snapchat. They're all down below. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.